Embarrassment, an essential subject from Vinipedia. At the present age, people are embarrassed with so many things that it is hardly possible to divert their attention in all the Vedic literatures. People are embarrassed by many material desires. They worship Shiva, Brahma, the Kali, Durga, Ganesa and Surya to achieve different results. However, one can achieve all these results simultaneously just by worshipping Lord Vishnu. In this age of Kali, the direct method is especially more feasible because people are short-living, their intelligence is poor, and they are poverty-stricken and embarrassed by so many miserable disturbances. Lord Chaitanya, therefore, has given the greatest boon. In this age, one simply has to chant the holy name of God to attain perfection in spiritual life. Srila Prabhupada's books, lectures, conversations and letters offer a comprehensive presentation of this essential subject as seen in the Vinicote's embarrassment category. An introduction from his books is given below in the following 13 quotes. Quotes from Srila Prabhupada's books. All types of fruitive results actually come from the spirit soul, but because he has forgotten his real duty, he is embarrassed by many material consequences such as fear and attachment. The only remedy is to revert to the service of the Lord and thus be saved from material nature's unwanted harassment. Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya LL 20.119. Although during the rainy season the high mountains are splashed by torrents of rain, they do not change. Similarly, a person who is advanced in Krishna consciousness, even if put into difficulties, is not embarrassed. A person who is spiritually advanced accepts any adverse condition of life as the mercy of the Lord, and thus he is completely eligible to enter into the spiritual kingdom. Krishna Book, Chapter 20. To the devotee, this great ocean of nescience becomes like a puddle of water in the hoof print of a cow. A pure devotee, without embarrassing himself by trying for elevation in so many ways, stays in the safest position as a servant of Krishna, and thus his life is eternally safe without a doubt. Armad Bh Gavatam 1.15. 68. The problem which arose in the heart of Arjuna on the battlefield of Kurukshetra was solved by the teachings of the Bhagavad Gita. Again, after the departure of the Lord from the vision of earthly people, when Arjuna was face to face with being vanquished in his acquired power and prominence, he wanted again to remember the great teachings of the Bhagavad Gita, just to teach all concerned that the Bhagavad Gita can be consulted in all critical times, not only for solace from all kinds of mental agonies, but also for the way out of great entanglements which may embarrass one in some critical hour. Armad Bh Gavatam 1.15. 27. In this age of Kali, the direct method is especially more feasible than the indirect because people are short-living, their intelligence is poor, and they are poverty-stricken and embarrassed by so many miserable disturbances. Lord Chaitanya, therefore, has given the greatest boon. In this age, one simply has to chant the holy name of God to attain perfection in spiritual life. Armad Bh Gavatam 3.21. 7. In Kali Yuga, the available quantity of food grains and ghee is gradually diminishing, and people are embarrassed that they cannot produce sufficient ghee and food grains. Under the circumstances, the stras enjoin, Yai Sake Ratana Pr Yerye Janti Hisu Medhasa. SB 11.5.32. In this age, those who are intellectual offer yaga or perform sacrifices through the Sake Ratana movement. Everyone should join the Sake Ratana movement, offering to the fire of this movement the oblations of his knowledge and riches. Armad Bh Gavatam 7.14. 17. This material world is simply an embarrassment and is composed of tribulations presented as happiness, distress, attachment, enmity and envy. On the whole, it is simply full of tribulation and misery. When a person loses his intelligence due to attachment to wife and sex, his entire consciousness becomes polluted. He thus only thinks of the association of women. The time factor, which is like a serpent, takes away everyone's life, including that of Lord Brahma and the insignificant ant. Armad Bh Gavatam 5.14. Summary. Being embarrassed by so many theories and by contradictions of various types of philosophical speculation, they become disgusted or angry and foolishly conclude that there is no supreme cause and that everything is ultimately void. Such people are in a diseased condition of life. Some people are too materially attached and therefore do not give attention to spiritual life. Some of them want to merge into the supreme spiritual cause, and some of them disbelieve in everything, being angry at all sorts of spiritual speculation out of hopelessness. Bhagavad Gita 4.10 Any person who has accepted a temporary body and temporary household life is certainly embarrassed by anxiety because of having fallen in a dark well where there is no water but only suffering. One should give up this position and go to the forest, Vana. More clearly, one should go to the Vana where only Krishna consciousness is prevalent and should thus take shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Armad Bh Gavatam 7.5 5. While in material existence, Bhavamrita, a person fully competent to distinguish wrong from right must endeavor to achieve the highest goal of life as long as the body is stout and strong and is not embarrassed by dwindling. Armad Bh Gavatam 7.6 5. One may question how one can always think of the Lord in regard to his name, fame, quality, etc. If one is embarrassed by thoughts of family affairs. Everyone in the material world is full of thoughts about how to maintain his family, how to protect his wealth, how to keep pace with friends and relatives, etc. Thus he is always in fear and lamentation, trying to keep up with the status quo. Armad Bh Gavatam 3.9 6. Vedic knowledge confirms that one becomes entangled in this material life because of ignorance and that one can become free from material embarrassment by becoming situated in factual knowledge. Eskaya means that factual knowledge by which one can get out of the material entanglement. Armad Bh Gavatam 3.24 38. Sannyasa, or renunciation of material household life, necessitates complete absorption in Krishna consciousness and immersion in the self. One does not take sannyasa, freedom from family responsibility in the renounced order of life, to make another family or to create an embarrassing transcendental fraud in the name of sannyasa. The sannyasa's business is not to become proprietor of so many things and amass money from the innocent public. Armad Bh Gavatam 3.24 34.